All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Saturday Morning Live. Welcome, welcome. We do this weekly through the e-commerce business school to showcase success, to provide training, and to shine a spotlight on our community. So welcome, everybody. And yes, I see that we are live on Facebook. Hooray, hooray. Okay, so we have actually made it live. And I want to be where I can actually monitor what the comments rolling in. So I'm just going to refresh there. Yeah, so good morning. Good morning to you, Brian, up in Northern California.
Good morning, Anne. And good morning, Robin Jeffries.
Good morning.
And where are you calling in from, Robin?
Biloxi, Mississippi.
All right, awesome. I'm going to guess it's a hot day for you. Is it hot?
It's hot and soon to be a boating day.
Oh, fun. That's what I love to hear, especially for someone that I know puts in amazing focus and discipline to get a lot done with the little time that you have. You've been absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun showcasing what you've accomplished. So, hey, folks, as you're rolling in, go ahead and say good morning to us in the comment section. I'm still trying to get there, Brian, to see that. I think I just went to the wrong one. Let's see if I'm on the right deal.
Yep, I'm trying to get there too at the same time here.
Okay, let's see.
All right, we go. You see Sue and Nicole and Donald Cameron all here this morning. Teresa,
Sue, Nicole. Hey, Nicole, calling in from Maryland. Donald calling in from Hattiesburg. Teresa Clark, Tim Ziegler, good morning. Donald Cameron saying sounds good. Thank you. You're talking about our audio? If so, we really appreciate that. And I will see what Miss Lisa says for that. I see her typing. Sound is good. Hey, do we rock and roll or what? So how about that? So I'm just curious, Robin, what's your favorite choice of beverage come Saturday morning?
Well, right now I'm drinking my protein shake.
Oh, health conscious all the way, right?
Absolutely.
And Brian, I know you're super health conscious. What do you got this morning?
Well, I've got coffee. I haven't made a protein shake yet. We've been doing a protein shake for 20 some odd years every morning.
Wow.
Yeah, long time.
And you too, Robin? Are you pretty steady?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
we'll have to compare notes, Robin, and see what you got yours, what I have in mind.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Well, I've got my cup of joe, but I don't have my EBS mug today. I should have grabbed that first. So, all right, it's official. It is 9 a.m. Good morning, everybody. Ann Sieg, founder of E-Commerce Business School, and welcome to Saturday Morning Live. We have lots of people rolling in, so go ahead and write in the comment section that you're here. We'd love to be able to greet and welcome you. This is going to be a really fun interview with Robin. I'm really excited about this because we have a lot in common. So let's do our little intro as we get going here. So again, this is Saturday Morning Live, and we want to give a very warm welcome to our new members. If you are new, you can write in the comment section, hey, just join, and we'll have our fellow community members come in and give you lots of high fives, loves, welcoming you into our community. So again, welcome to the newest members of the E-Commerce Business School. Next, Brian, we'll go to our slide where we talk about the 3 pillars of e-commerce success. Very briefly, quick summary is pillar number one is to generate cash flow. Jumpstart your business and keep it going. Get that spigot turned on and let the money come out. Number 2 is the automate systems. And why would we want to automate systems? So you can free up your time and scale up your business. And pillar number 3 is to build assets so you can pass on to your family or sell to investors for a profit. So that's our 3 pillars of e-commerce success. You'll also find a full-length video of that, 12 minutes in length, on our homepage, and you're welcome to watch that there. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Okay, what we're asking is, as you so feel led, is to share this Facebook Live with others. There's a little share arrow at the bottom of the post that you can share and then have that on your timeline. And today is going to be really impressive because we're going to talk about mental discipline and fortitude and someone with very high level time management skill sets. So this is going to be a very, very powerful session. So absolutely feel free to share the good news of e-commerce business school with others. Speaking of good news, all right, so I know Robin's going to speak into this in just a few moments, and we're showcasing today, is we like to habituate people into success behaviors. Habituate people into success behaviors. And that is our weekly Feed the Beast challenge. We do that every Friday where our members come in and post their screenshots of their shipments or sales of that week. And if you're wondering, well, hey, wait a minute, what's this beast thing all about? That would be Amazon. Amazon is the beast because the ravenous appetite of the Amazon shoppers, primarily prime buyers. So we do that every Friday, and we'll go on to the next slide there, Brian. And let's give it up to this week's winner. It's Janelle Tan Maxwell. So high five, congratulations to you, Janelle. You see a nice chunk of box there waiting at the doorway, ready to get shipped out. And all those boxes represent money. Sales on Amazon, profits in your bank. That's what those boxes represent. Congratulations to everybody else who participated. We got a stack of names there. So high five, congratulations to you. I do notice that Joseph Johnson. Joseph, we had a wonderful conversation a couple months ago, maybe 3 months ago. And I'm so, so proud of you. All righty, so giving a special shout out there to Joseph. But again, everybody, go ahead and give some warm love and congratulations to Janelle. Give it up to Janelle. All right, I gotta tell you, with this particular session, we have so many announcements. We're sneaking a little more at the beginning, and then we got a big stack at the end. So we're going to the next one. So hey, we do our events typically in a face-to-face mode. But along came COVID and we stopped doing our live events after our January 2020 event in Dallas, and we've gone virtual. However, we're going to be in Florida. I don't know, it's about 6 of us from the e-commerce business school. We're going to be in Florida. And so we're inviting people, whoever can make it, to our EBS mixer that will be in Orlando, Monday, June 21st. Oh, and I forgot to change the time there. It's actually 5:30 to 7:30. That's my bad. 5:30 to 7:30. We secured that time at Ford's Garage Eatery and Pub. This is open to the public too. You don't have to be a member of the e-commerce business school. If you're wanting to check us out, find out, are we real people? Are they real? Are these just cardboard figures right here? No, we're real people. So we're going to be at the Ford's Garage Eatery and Pub, Margaritaville Boulevard. I kind of like that name, just saying. Kissimmee, Florida, which is apparently a suburb of Orlando. Okay, so welcome everybody. We're going to get to this week's special interview. And this is recent 90-day peak performance graduate, Robin Jeffries. And Robin, I took these photos from your Facebook page, and you know what? Oh boy, you really exemplify a winner's attitude because you've got all these success quotes. And so the one that I saw on your Facebook cover is look for something positive in each day, even if some days you have to look a little harder. So I love that. And then we got a picture of you holding your dog. So welcome, Robin.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm
Yes.
glad to be here.
So I do have a couple slides about your sales progress, but let's stay right here for a moment before, well, actually, Brian, what should we do? Should we do the slides next?
Yeah, let's do the slides next.
Okay. All right. So what I did, Robin, I know you can't see these, but it just makes my heart beam with pride and joy when members simply follow the instructions and do what we guide them to do, right? And one thing you've done a marvelous job of is sharing your results along the way. So Miss Lisa and Jade, one of our members here at E-commerce Business School, they got the screenshots for me. And here it is. It's the end of March. By the way, when was your start day in peak performance mentoring?
It was January,
In
mid-January.
January. Okay. And we know you had a hiccup at the beginning, so we'll get into the whole, your journey in just a moment, but I want to go through the slides while we have them there. So this is at the end of March, and you say on April 1st, "Boy, this is fun. Don't let anything stop you." And you had done $530 in sales. Then we jumped to April 21st. "I think I'm moving in the right direction. The 30-day sales seems to be moving." Well, no kidding. By then you're at 2,231. And then, let's see, Brian, we're on the next slide. On May 7th, you said, "Last 30 days have been good. Stay consistent." And there you have 3,097. Jump forward to June 10th. "The goal's still 5K this month. It's going to happen. Have a great weekend, everyone." 3,935. Brian, what do you think? Is Brian going to make it to 5,000? Big mystery.
I had a question for Robin because of this post. We can talk a little bit more about where her business is really headed. I think 5,000 is pretty obvious, right?
Extremely, probably in the next few days. So I just want to showcase that. Now we can go totally portrait, whatever it's called, without the slides.
Yep. We're full screen here.
So I would love to know and have you share your background of who you are, what you do as a vocation, and talk that through. And then what led you to do e-commerce? But let's talk about your background.
Okay. So for the last 21 years, as of this year, I have dedicated my entire life to high school students, and high school mainly, but some college, to athletes, to basketball. I have coached for 21 years. It's been my passion, and I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of children that I have mentored, taken under my wing. And it's been where I've had my first head coaching job when I was 22 years old.
Oh.
So I've been consistent with that for 21 years of mentoring kids and competing and playing the game of basketball, which I love so much.
Well, God bless you for your work with the children. I coached gymnastics 12 years. I loved it. And it wasn't until my tendonitis was so severe, I ended up having to quit because of that, just because of the pain. But boy, did I ever love it. So I totally relate to, loving the kids, helping them develop, mature into adults, and the mental discipline that comes with sports. I owe all my success for myself personally, to my sports world, as a young person, and then as a coach. Let's talk about that. Do you think that has shaped a lot of your attitude as being a coach and a mentor in sports?
Oh, I do think so, because prior to me coaching, I played the sport since I was 3. And so I had coaches. I started playing on a little peewee league, I think, when I was 3 years old. And I've had coaches that have mentored me all the way up until, I played through college. So I had coaches mentor me all the way. And it wasn't probably within a 6-week lapse where I went from being mentored to being the mentor. So I went from being mentored to being a coach. So there's never really been a gap in my life where I've had someone trying to discipline me, teaching me the way. And I was lucky. I had really good coaches along the way. And I took a lot of what I've learned and tried to exemplify that with the kids that I've been coaching for the last 21 years. So it's definitely created some shape, some discipline, some character. But I can tell you, even with all of that, we're still human, and we still wake up every day and have challenges just like everybody else, to where sometimes all of that discipline that you've learned and all of that resources that you've had, you still have to come within yourself and be strong in your mind, and gather yourself together to make every day, take every day and simplify every day. So that's where I've been and where I've come, and really how I try to live.
being strong in your mind. So Coach Kurt and I, and we'll talk about accountability boot camp because I know you said you got a lot of value from that, but uh, we firmly believe, and I think Brian would agree too, the success, it isn't necessarily the external. You didn't come in with the most favorable situation of having the luxury of being able to do this full time, very small amounts of time. And what we believe is most of the success is right here between the two ears. And I see it. I see it in the membership. And so that's why we have the 10-day accountability boot camp. That's why we have DeMou's mornings that go, is you can't shore it up enough. I've been a sports athlete, sports coach. I have down days, like you're saying. and and I have to pull myself up from a something that's happened that feels like, whoa, vortex, the spinning vortex. I'm in it right now, grabbing onto the walls. And you have to bootstrap and pull yourself up, and that whole self-talk. I do a ton of self-talk. Just talk my way through it. Come on, you got this, girl. You can do this. That self-talk. So I want to dig into that further because we know as people are doing their Amazon business, they hit bumps along the way. You've hit some bumps along the way. You hit that moment, and right in that moment, people have the choice which way are they going to go. And if they're hardwired to a quitter's mentality, I got to call it what it is. The quitter's mentality, whereas a success-driven mentality is, I will figure this out. Can you talk about that? How from sports, like injuries, injuries, for example, so many things, but that pivotal moment of when you hit that glitch, that no, really, come on already. Why am I getting hit with this? How do you deal with that mentally?
Well, I think that, well, first let me say that I think discipline creates habits. And I think once we have a habit, it becomes easier to do. And so when you're in a disarray and you've got all of these things going on throughout your life and you've had a bad week, you maintain your habit. And I'll just give you, for example, with the business school. I have had a whole lot going on in the last year. And I won't get into it a whole lot, but a mother who's had a massive stroke and me going back and forth to try to take care of her when I'm 3 hours away, where I was working 15, 16-hour days. I've just had massive amount of disarray in a year. But with habits, I have created a habit to where I will say I'm going to take 1 hour. And I can't necessarily dictate what time that might be because time for us is all the same. We all have the 24 hours. So sometimes it would have to be in the morning, sometimes at night. But it would be 1 hour where I would stick in my life to sit down and work with EBS school, business school. And then it got to where I would spend that 1 hour and I would do my sourcing. And then it would be that 1 hour. And then my goal would simply be a day goal. And that day goal would become a week goal. And the week goal would become my month goal. And I would measure that.
Mhm.
And so with just so much going on, I would end my day by saying, did I accomplish, with all that's going on, did I accomplish the one thing that was going to get me to move forward to my bigger picture? And really, it's just that 5 seconds that I take with myself and say, Robin, did you get it done today? Did you get your 1 hour for you to move forward? And I would have to be able to answer and say, yes, I did. And I think what you eventually see is that you don't get so caught up in all of the bad things and the things that weigh you down, but just the one positive thing can really ignite a little bit of energy. But you have to tell yourself that. You can't just say it and not do it. You have to feel the energy after the hour that you've completed that one little bit of hour of work. that leads to something a little more positive. So I don't mean to ramble, but that's
No, that was a very
That's not
good
rambling,
ramble.
is it?
That's right. No, and I love how you capped it up by saying the energy that you have, because as an author, he coaches business athletes from the sports world, Tony Schwartz, and he talks about the power of full engagement, which is more about energy management than it is time management. So
Right.
you just melded the two together. It's that 1 hour, but there's this energy that comes out of that sense of accomplishment. I stayed true to myself. I stayed true to myself. And when people don't stay true to themselves, it's not a fun feeling. It's not a rewarding feeling. The rewarding feeling is I stayed true to myself and my commitment. All right. So what I want to dig into this past year has not been an easy year. Your mother with massive stroke, you're trying to get up there twice a week to go see her. You're working 16, 17-hour days. And I'm really curious, in the midst of all of that, what made you stop and even consider joining peak performance mentoring? With your average person would go, no, 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 not now, not now. Why did you see that this would be the time for you? I'm really curious.
Well, this was because I have been looking for solutions to retirement or extra income for years in the past. And I've tried to get involved in some network marketing stuff, and just so I've been looking, and nothing has really snapped with me or worked with me. And in my hour and 10-minute drive into work, I spend that hour and 10 minutes, the whole hour and 10 minutes, on some type of motivational, a YouTube, something positive that's going to get me in my right frame of mind for the day and for the kids. And so one day I was driving into work, and your EBS Business Commerce School came up on Facebook, and I thought, well, I'm just going to listen to this on my hour and 10-minute drive in. And I got to school and forgot about it. I heard some great things and just forgot about it, but something just kept coming back to me to take a closer look. And then I dug in, and we had our first call, and I thought, you know what, this sounds like something that I would be able to do, and it sounds like I would have the support that I would need, because I've always said you got to surround yourself with people that are going to take it to the next level, or that are going to help you take it to the next level, and that's going to have strength where you have weakness. And I felt that the more I looked into it, I sort of felt the team chemistry, which is nothing short of saying there has definitely been team chemistry with the EBS school, business school. Help when you needed it, calls when you needed it. You ask a question, you get an answer relatively fast. So it's been great, but that's how I ended up, because I've been looking in the past, but this just landed in my lap in January of this year. And I'm so glad that I moved forward and went with it, and because it's been great.
All right. So you've been a seeker.
Yes.
Looking and looking and looking and looking. So it was more, you already open to it because you
Yes.
had been a seeker.
Yes, but the past 4 years really got to me. I was traveling to and from work on a 3-hour round trip, driving buses to games, literally not getting but 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours at the most of sleep. My mom had her stroke, and I just got to a point where I kind of broke. I just couldn't keep that going. So I was really looking even harder for long-term, full-time work. So that's kind of how I just sort of I started working maybe even harder, trying to make something happen in the past year.
I would say so. Okay, so you had been looking, you were getting burnt out, 16, 17-hour days. I guess what I'm most intrigued about but you still managed to squeeze EBS into some corners. So
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, because sometimes, well, I do believe on the whole, busy people get things done. They have to get things done. They learn how to squeeze things into time and moments that others just wouldn't have the mental discipline to do. So somehow you believe, despite working those horrific hours, you could squeeze it in. What does that look like, trying to squeeze it in?
Well, so I just sat down and made a plan. And I said, okay, I've got this much time today, and I've got this much time this week. So I would have my weekly schedule, and I would just put it in there. So I would listen to some of y'all's recordings driving into work. That became what I started to listen to for the hour and 10 minutes. And I would have maybe 30 minutes at the high school on my lunch hour, on my 30-minute lunch, where I would actually listen to more or maybe even watch something. And then if I had an hour when I got home, I couldn't do it when I was coming in at midnight. But if I had an hour coming in, I would sit down at the computer and spend that hour. So I literally turned off the radio. I have not listened to the radio. I've put something that was going to take me one step closer to the bigger picture. And then I wouldn't watch TV. I would not watch the Netflix series that people get so involved with. And of course, now that I've got a little more time, it's summertime, school's out, I might find myself watching a show or two, as long as I've done my hour to 2 hour work. So I really just took the time that I had, whether an hour, 2 hours, and I made it into something that was beneficial towards my moving forward, as opposed to just waste. I don't want to call wasting time, because some people, that's how some people use their time
Right.
But for me, I spent that time to learn a new endeavor.
I think it's incredibly phenomenal with such little time that you just made the steady progress, and you used the word consistency earlier. You've been consistent, and the proof is in the pudding when you're consistent. You know, what we just shared, that $531, which was like April, well, it was from March.
Yeah.
So when your sales were getting going, and you stayed true to yourself, that commitment of an hour a day, because it all comes down to sourcing, doesn't it? You got to source.
Yes, it does. And I was going to say today, when I looked, it's at 4,044.
You're going to hit your 5K month, no problem. So, alrighty, staying consistent. Brian, you oversee, as director of training coaching, you oversee everything, all the training, the full training department. And you see the variances of people's successes, and what you see of some people just not getting those numbers. But here, Robin, with your hour, where people, they're dead tired when they get home from work. You could just crash. Man, I got to chill out. And you're like, nope, you committed to this. I'm going to do my hour. But Brian, what you see in that variance of consistency, and the success, one could say, is simple if you stay consistent. Both of you agree with that?
I'm hoping that everybody can hear Robin's strength of purpose. She's very clear what she wants to achieve. She said, well, I'm not watching TV shows. I don't want to take that away from others who wants to watch TV shows. And that's their purpose. Robin has her purpose. She wants to, Robin, you've got something planned for your retirement. And this business is what's going to carry you through to do those things that you want to do in retirement. There's a great question here. Gurinder's asking, would it be okay to ask what was weekly, monthly investment? Because you talked about making daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals. What was weekly, monthly investment to get that sort of return so quickly? I realize there are many other factors that would play into those numbers. And one of the investments that we make, it's not just money, it's time.
Right.
And what type of time investment have you made to get these consistent results where you're already at $4,000 in 12 days?
Right. Okay. So I will say that I started off with small numbers. So my goals were set with numbers. And it was numbers as far as, and let me say this too, I got a VA right out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
I got a virtual assistant right out of the box because of my time. And I didn't have time to source. So I will say that. So I did get a VA, and I do take that list and I check everything that they send. You have to make sure you check that. And so I started off with low numbers, being that I was going to go 40 to 50 a week, meaning 40 to 50 items a week. And then at the end of the month, I wanted somewhere between 120 to 160 items that were going to be sent into Amazon for the month. So those were the numbers that I was looking at. And then of course I've learned exactly what to look for through Ed Dicey's class that he gives on here. And so those were the numbers. As far as the financials, I've been very fortunate enough to have a partner with me in the business that has helped me financially to start the business. Because I know some people, $100, $500. So to answer your question, I started with a low number of $1,000.
$1,000.
Yes. So that number continually grows as we continue to increase the business. And your return on money is not that quick turnaround. It trickles in the back, but like Brian said, it's the time. You just keep investing the time, whether it's an hour, 2 hours, whatever you might have. And in about 6 months, you're going to see that it all equals out. You're going to be on a winning field at that point. You're going to accelerate and things are going to start to turn, and you're going to see a big jump and be positive in all of those things: time, money, effort. So I hope I answered that question.
You got hung up a little bit getting your Amazon account started. So your business really started in earnest where you were sending in products sometime in, what was it, middle to late February?
That's right. It was 4 weeks till I got, because I had to, for some reason, didn't receive my first number from Amazon. I had to resubmit, and so they sent me one finally. So it literally took 4 weeks before I got started. So I signed up in January, and I didn't start till the end of February.
So you haven't even had 4 full months in business as of yet.
I have not.
Okay, and you're building that snowball because it's
Yes.
just you start pushing that ball down the hill a little bit. It's small to start with, and it's going to develop. You're at 4 months now into the
Right.
business. You've got $4,000 of sales in 12 days here this month. I know it's your goal to hit 5,000. That's pretty obvious that you're going to hit it. I asked you a question about would you hit 10,000 this month? Because it's obvious if you just keep selling the number of products, you would hit 10,000.
Right.
However, do you have enough inventory yet to hit that?
Well, I that's another tool that I use, Inventory Lab. And I know that there's a sales value that you can see on Inventory Lab, and you want to really build that number up. But right now I'm sitting at 9,400 in that inventory sales. So if I'm saying this correctly, that's how you can sort of regulate where you are in the amount of the value that you have. So short of 10,000, but close to 10,000.
So it's interesting to see that if you just had put a little more money in, or if you were to put more money in, you've built a machine now that would produce results directly proportionate to the amount of money that you put into it.
Right. So if I had to give anybody a suggestion that's just getting started, because I'm no pro at this whatsoever, and I'm still learning. But when you start setting goals, you really need to do a day goal, a week goal, and let that week run into the month, and just evaluate yourself. So I'll sit down and I'll look at my list that I get from the VA, and I'll say, I really need to purchase, how many items do I need to purchase today, Monday through Friday, to make my weekly goal? My weekly goal was 40 to 60, right? This is when I first started. So if I wanted 40 to 60 at the end of the week, then I needed to do, 10 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get my goal. So I would sit down for that hour and I would say, okay, I just bought 10 items. I'm done. I'm not going to think about it, do it anymore. I'm going to shut it down. And I do it on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And at the end of Friday, I had my 40 to 60. So I hit my weekly goal. You really have to, because it can be overwhelming. So just decide what it is. You want 2 for Monday? You want 5? Do it and then let it go. And then at the end of the week, you want 10, 20? It's done. Let it go. And at the end of the month, and then what's going to be amazing is that the numbers come to you. Your money's going to come to you. You just worry about getting your items, getting them in, sending them to Amazon, and making sure that it's what we meet the criteria that we've been taught so well in the class, and the money will come.
So question one, I'm super impressed. You got going with the automation aspect of your business right away. Day one, got a VA. So are you also using a prep center too? So you're on
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I want everyone to hear that very loudly and clearly. How in the world did Robin do this with an hour a day? Because she tapped into automation from day one, just like we teach in the course, and it was all there to teach and train you, right? Getting that VA, using the Prep and Ship Center. So if you're just like, how in the world with 1 hour a day? Because you had the foresight per what, that's everything that the program is about. Get the automation in place. And this is how, okay, because I got to just back a moment. I've been talking to a lot of people the last 2 weeks who are looking to come into the program. Just about everybody's working full time. And they're trying to chart out, how do I transition? And that's what's really so phenomenal about your story here, is it's your transition plan, and it's working. It's working. You're putting in an hour a day. You've been working 16, 17-hour days. Now school is out, so you got more time. But you did it. Most of the folks I'm talking to are doing 8, 10-hour days. You've done 16, 17. So you quickly got the right elements in place, and you're still able to put in that 1 hour of work. Because this is where I see most people are so vexed. How do I transition? Is it real? Is it possible? You're hearing the possible story right here, how to transition. I want to talk about, so you've been looking for a retirement plan for years. Along came EBS on one of your long drives. So we got together about a month ago or so, and we had our call. And I know you had some certain plans when school ended. What does this fall look like? I'm kind of curious where you're sitting with your plans.
Well, I'll tell you, God works in miraculous ways. I didn't feel like I was done coaching. I really didn't feel like I was done coaching. I felt like I was done with my situation of driving and working. And then there's a high school within 7 miles of where I live now, a really big school, and the coach was going to step down, and they called me up, and they wanted me to be the replacement. So I have signed back up and will be coaching still at a relatively large high school here on the coast. And I'm going to be continuing to do what I do, but I'm not going to be driving an hour and 10 minutes. It'll only be 7 miles. I won't be driving a bus. So I'll just be doing what I love, and that's coaching.
Right.
So, but I will continue to put in my time with the business school, and still nothing changes with my goal as far as retirement.
Yeah. Wow. I love that. And you can see the future. You can see that this is working for you. And that's the main thing for the folks I talk to is, will this work for me? You're proof that it can. It does work, because you got right to it. You hired the automation pieces there, which is the virtual assistant, getting the Prep and Ship Center, which that's a pretty easy one to get in place. And I love it that you had an investor, and you know what? And my brain said, yeah, and I'm not really surprised. That investor knew you were a hard worker. I got a good feeling they knew this money that I put in with Robin is going to go somewhere, because I believe in Robin. Am I mistaken about that?
I hope not. No, I can't speak for them, but I hope not. I hope that she trusts me, and we have a great partnership. So.
Yeah. Well, I can see why this person would do that, because of the mental discipline that you've already displayed in your life before coming into e-commerce business school. Do we have any other, so we got people giving congratulations. Candida saying on your new coaching position. Eric, hello, Eric, how can I join the school? How much does the program cost? Donald, to answer your question, yes, Robin is using a prep center. So let's, we've got a lot of announcements. Time is moving quickly. What are some big, for someone who's new, let's address that person. We got Eric, for example. He's watching. Golly, is this real? What could you give to someone who's looking at us? Give that advice, then we'll have a last parting piece of advice for those who are in the program.
Okay, sure, not a problem. Okay, so like I said, I questioned it because I've been looking and I've spent a lot of money in places that just was like a hamster on a wheel. You keep spinning until you spun yourself off. So yes, it's real. It's been great. The coaches are wonderful. The energy's great. You need help, you're going to get it. Nothing but encouragement, and it's happening. And I've had very little time, but I did start automating right away with all of the things that they tell us to automate with. But it's real. I've been in since January, but started in February, and now this is, what are we in, June? And sales are at 4,044, like we said, as of today. And it's happened simply because I have put in 1 hour, at the most 2 hours, with my VA, sourcing, sending things into the Beast, into Amazon, and sales happen because I have the right products in there, first of all.
Yeah.
And that's in the class. They teach you that.
Yep.
What type of products to buy and what your scenario should be. And I've followed those, and it's just really, I hate to say it, but it's kind of getting easy.
That's okay. Maybe you hate to say it, but it's true. It's
I mean,
getting
at first it was like, wow, I don't even have a clue what I'm doing. But like I said, I had many questions, and I had a great coach, and I would do it. I would do it.
All right.
I would say just do it.
Robin, you followed the training to a T. This is what we want for our members to do. You follow the training. We know that there'll be some mistakes made that you feel like, I don't know what I'm doing, but if I just trust the process, get some products sent in, I'm going to learn from that. You're a perfect example.
Yeah.
You also like the numbers, and that,
Yes.
So you're after my heart here.
Yes, I'm a statistic person, basketball coach. You got to know how to win and lose.
Have you done your projections to the end of the year?
I don't go that far, honestly, yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm staying with my day, my week, my month. Right now my goal was 5,000. I will reevaluate that in July, and I will make a new goal for July. And when I get 1 year under my belt, I may go ahead and move my projection out for the next year. But I am a very sensitive person in my mind when it comes to setting goals, because like I said, we're going to wake up tomorrow and we're going to have new challenges. Everybody will. And there's going to be things that I have to tackle that I don't even know what's going to happen. So right now I'm staying short in my goals so that I know that I can get those accomplished.
I think that's the parting piece of advice to our existing members. It's the daily input. That's like what you said. It's habits. That's a success habit right there.
Habits.
Fantastic. I have just loved this interview with you, Robin. We're just so happy. You followed the training, you employed your discipline, working an hour a day on your side business that you see growing up into your retirement plan. Beautiful. All right, we're going to get to our announcements. And this is recorded. If you want to come back and listen again, I think this is one definitely worthy of listening to again and again.
I want to make
All
this
right.
required listening for our peak performing group. Yep.
I would agree, Brian.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, coming up next week on Saturday Morning Live for e-commerce sellers will be details of our upcoming July 2-day virtual workshop, which will be June 10th and 11th. We're going to have Danita Zanre is one of our coaches who will be training. She lives in Italy now, courtesy of doing her e-commerce business. She now has her dream lifestyle, living in Italy. Yes.
So Candida will be joining us as well. Candida Lillard, will, also certified master trainer, will be joining us next Saturday. And Ed Dassey said that he's traveling, but he will do his best to be on there. And we may have May Alvarez, so we may have a full house of coaches for next week. So you're definitely going to want to tune in and hear what's coming up at our 2-day virtual workshop.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, so the next seat there is, well, for those of you who are currently in peak, so Robin, this would apply to you, is go to your back office to secure your seat. That's what you paid for with Peak Performance Mentoring, e-commerce acceleration. So you can go to your back office, you'll see it as a banner right at the top. Go ahead and secure your seat now. That's my news for you. Those of you are entitled to your free ticket. All righty.
Let me ask one other
Yeah,
question
go
here.
ahead.
Robin, are you planning on coming to this event?
To the virtual event?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Great. Can
Yes.
you and I talk a little bit? I would like to use your business as a case history and have something live for our members at an event so they can see a little more deeply into what you've done and how you work the numbers. Would you be willing to do that with me?
Sure.
Great. I'd love to have you there. This is going to be I know that's going to be an awesome session for our members. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, did I put down June? I'm so sorry.
It's July,
That's-
isn't it? Yes, July 10th and 11th.
Thank you.
I missed that
My
too.
bad. July 10th and 11th. Sorry about that. Sarah and Eugene and Sharon, a whole bunch. Hey, wait a minute. My bad. I'm in June, but I need to think July. Okay, so thank you, everyone. That's July 10th and 11th. All right, our Outsource and Scale Mastermind is taking place. You can join if you have that. If you graduated from Peak, or if you are an experienced Amazon seller, maybe just finding out about us right now. And this is with Brian, and Ed does a 1-hour consultation with folks as well. Outsource and Scale Mastermind. You can find more about that, email into support. We're happy to assist you. Okay, now for those of you who are new, I don't recall who it was from earlier. Someone's like, how do I join this program? Go to joinebs.com. Joinebs.com. That'll take you to our home page. And at the top of the home page, there's a blue button that says free training. Just go there. So joinebs.com, that takes you to our home page. That's a fun photo from when we were together. That's July of 2018, I believe. Yep, that'll be coming next year, we hope. We'll be back live again. All right, so.
And did you pass the small group coaching
Oh,
slides?
sorry, I don't have it in.
I had,
I'm on
had trouble
V2.
following you there. Okay.
I'm so sorry. You can go into that. My
We'll briefly
apologies.
just mention this. We have a new small group coaching schedule coming up with something very special for our peak performing graduates. We have 3 weekly, what we're calling core small group coaching sessions. These are the same sessions that we've been having for all of our e-commerce acceleration members. Plus, we're now adding 2 weekly advanced small group coaching sessions. And to be able to attend these advanced sessions, now this is all the stuff that the latest and greatest things that your coaches and other members are doing. To be able to attend those, you have to be a graduate of our 90-day peak performance program, and as well as having an active small group coaching subscription. So let me give you the times here. You can find these in your back office calendar. This is the training calendar right here. The small group, the core small group coaching sessions will be in the evening and daytime. So Mondays at 7 p.m. and Tuesdays, Wednesdays during the daytime. The advanced small group coaching sessions, this is brand new now, will be on Mondays at 11 a.m. during the day and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. in the evening. So if you're a graduate of Peak Performance, you definitely want to be attending these these advanced small group sessions.
Yes. And if you have any questions about this, just email into our customer care team, support@ecommercebusinessschool.com. My apologies, Brian. I had my V2 open and the V3, and I was looking at V2 earlier. So for missing those. All right. So now we're on to the joinebs.com there. So again, my apologies for that confusion. All righty. And then I think, Robin, you like our slogan, I would imagine, hustle and heart.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
It's
a
what
winner.
sets us apart. Yeah,
It's a winner. Yes.
that's who we are. So again, go to our homepage to access our free training and student success stories. We have a whole lot more. And it has been such a delight to be with you, Robin, as you've shared just a wealth of mindset, tips and strategies, you know, an hour a day, and you're building your retirement business. Who does that? Who does that? I mean, seriously, where is that possible? Right here. Robin is proving it to be true. 1 hour a day, if you're wondering. So I am just thrilled with your success. It's going to be fun. You post like 2-3 times a month, which I love, and I encourage all our members to do that. And I would imagine, in a sense, that's kind of a level of accountability, to be showing up to your peers and, hey, here's where I'm at. And you always give a word of encouragement on your end. So I appreciate you as a leader. You have been a leader in our community. You're leading by action and you're leading by results. And that just means the world to me, Brian, the entire EBS staff, to see you lead as a leader here in our community. So I thank you for that.
Well, thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
All right. Till then, we'll see everybody next week in Saturday Morning Live. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.